The Wall Street Journal reports the housing market is terrible. Guys, this is starting to all come together for a terrible housing crash. The data that keeps coming out keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, this is the Wall Street Journal right now calling it terrible news. Basically, look, let's jump in. July's 9.6 drop in U.S. housing construction, the slowest pace since February 2021, has spurred concerns among some Wall Street strategists. Higher mortgage rates and elevated inflation have made it more expensive to both buy and build property. Below are a few reactions. In one word, terrible. This is not good, guys. Check this out. We think housing construction will fall across the whole of the second half, hitting bottom in early 2023. Combined with downturns in tech, big box retail, manufacturing, and foreign economies, a bona fide recession looks more likely than not over the next year. And a disappointing update from the housing sector. However, the market has been content to ignore it as known information at this stage. A disappointing update from the housing sector. However, the market has been content to ignore it as known information at this stage. So basically, yeah, everyone knows mortgage rates are going up. Everyone knows we have high inflation. Everyone knows that we might be looking into a recession. Everyone knows that GDP has been down. And yet, a lot of people are still saying that the housing market is not going to crash. Now look at this, home purchase. Look, check out this quote. This tweet, home buyers are backing out. Roughly 63,000 homes purchase agreements fell through in July, which equals to 16.1% of the homes that went under contract that month, highest percentage since April of 2020. And this was definitely during the coronavirus, and everyone was super duper spooked. So you can see the writing is in the wall, and people are backing out. People are scared. They don't know basically what is going to happen. They don't know what the future has in store for them. So people are holding back. They want to see where the economy is going, and it's creating a lot of uncertainty in the market. You guys know when there's a lot of uncertainty, things tend to come down, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing. Now, when this says right here, known information, yeah, of course, we know the information. We know we have higher interest rates. We know we have a supply problem, and we know we have inflation. And this is creating literally a recipe for disaster, because what inflation is doing is basically keeping everything high. And as we've talked about it in previous videos, we got employers now paying more for people to come into work, basically now creating the products that those companies produce are going to be marked higher because, they're paying for higher wages. And that goes, when they buy their raw materials to make their products, again, those people are also paying higher prices for wages, so making their products more expensive. So basically, by the time it comes to us, to the retailer, when we want to buy it in retail, those prices are going to be more expensive. And unless people get laid off and rehired at lower wages, those prices are not going to come down. So I know a lot of people are kind of happy, they're making more money. Now the only problem with that is that now everything is more expensive. So it's almost like it didn't even make a difference, right? And when inflation is like 8, 9, 10%, we have problems in our economy. And the Fed's job right now, really, and the government's job, is to bring those inflation levels down to 2%. The problem with that is that it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt us, in every single sector. And one of the biggest sectors that are going to get hurt is the housing market. Housing is usually the first sector to go, and we're starting to see the cracks. Remember, housing just went up way too high for it to sustain itself at these levels. We're in a huge bubble, and it was brought because of low supply and basically incredibly historically low mortgage rates, where the people that had the means were able to jump into the market, buy houses, unseen, waiving all the inspections or whatever. They just wanted to put their money into property. That created, a complete seller's market, and people were bidding, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, $200,000 over asking, depending where you live. Well, you know what? Essentially, that is unsustainable. And now with rates going up, it has not just cooled off the market, but it has basically frozen the market, because nobody wants to jump in right now. Why? Because they know they're buying at the top of the bubble. right? And that is in many ways pretty scary for a lot of people. Nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to be at the top of the bubble. And we're just gonna have to see how things play out. Now, in order for things to come down, again, we're gonna have to see a big economic crash that we're not seeing it right now, especially with the high employment. What my prediction is, we're gonna go into a slow holiday season, which then we're gonna start seeing the effects of that in January and February when companies report their sales and they're gonna be lower than expected. It's going to freak out the markets, it's going to freak out Wall Street. Then you're gonna probably see, the Dow kind of take a dive, February, March, around that area. We might see some layoffs. We might see then the beginnings of the housing crash. Now, I think housing is not going to crash overnight. We're not in an 08 scenario. We're in a totally different scenario. In my opinion, a much more scarier, more dangerous scenario, but just different. Remember, inflation doesn't wait for anybody. It basically, it's a downward spiral that it could get just worse and worse and worse. The worst thing we could possibly do right now is print more money, right? Right now, we're on uncharted territories for this nation, and we're doing pretty good compared to the rest of the world, but that's not to say that the rest of the world's problems might come to us. Remember, we sell products to other people. And we buy products from other people. So if inflation is hitting other countries pretty high, that means that those products are going to be pretty expensive. So now if we rely on a lot of China products, well, the Chinese products are going to be more expensive. Then Chinese people are not going to want to buy, or Europe is not going to want to buy from us. Why? Because our economy is a little bit stronger, the dollar is stronger. So them buying our products become a problem. They probably rather keep buying in their countries where possibly things might be a little bit cheaper for them to buy it. So again, this is a worldwide problem. There's a lot of factors involved, and we're gonna have to see how it all moves. But in general, the housing market, when I look at it, it looks incredibly inflated. And when something goes up that fast, usually it comes down even faster. But again, like I said, inflation. What is that going to do to the equation? So we're gonna have to see how it all pans out. I wanted to bring you this article from the Wall Street Journal because I know a lot of you guys will appreciate it. And I really hope you guys like this video. I will have a link to that article down in the description below. Now, for all of you guys who have been watching my videos and supporting my channels, I just wanna say thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the likes. If you're new to my channel and you like what I have to say and you like my videos, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.